a bit of flaps. This to make us go back down to 210. I'm doing this. Oh yes. So we're at 210. 5,000 feet. Slowly descending. Ha ha ha! Usually the second I glance away from the controls is where it goes wrong, so full concentration is needed. This is quite a nice jet actually. I quite like this plane. Prefer it to the 737, definitely. I think it's because it's smaller though. It's more manoeuvrable. 3,000. Throttle back up again. Level off. Da -da -da -da. Oh no, we're not even. We just went. Put it back to idle. We just got 3,900. We can go down more than that. So can't quite see the runway yet.
Okay, level off here at 3,000 feet and bring the thrust back up to about 50% N1 to maintain 210 knots.
50%, level off. Lovely. So I saw that one of our subscribers called, well, I won't say actually, I'll just say Rio. He commented on the last video that flying is definitely a lot harder than...
Lower the flaps to 8 degrees.
8 degrees.
The flaps will slow us down, so bring the thrust back up to about 60% N1, so we maintain 180 knots. Slowing to 180, orbit 526. Okay, now reduce thrust a bit to slow to 180 knots. Pull back on the stick a bit to keep the nose from dropping. Maintain 3,000 feet as you slow down.
So he said flying looks a lot harder than driving trucks on a Euro truck, and that's because it definitely is. There's a lot more things to think about in this. Bring the throttle back up a bit. Maintain 180. Hello, I'm from Glasgow Airport. Yeah. Oh, there's some buildings over there in the flat ground. Never seen them before. So I've fiddled around with the graphic settings, so you get a higher frame rate and a better resolution and more scenery. Because before, by default, Microsoft Flight Simulator it puts the target FPS at 17, whereas I can actually run it comfortably at about 35 and have the resolution up.
Turn left heading 230, vectors for the visual approach runway 23, report the runway in sight.
Left to 230, looking for the runway, orbit 526.
230.
Turn left to 230 degrees. We should see the runway straight ahead once we roll out.
Yes.
You're over controlling. Use less
I'm
pressure
not!
on the stick. Okay, I see the runway.
Simply steering the plane.
Approach orbit 526 has the runway in sight.
Sake.
Orbit 526, cleared visual approach runway 23.
Cleared for the visual, orbit 526. Reduce thrust to idle and begin descending towards the runway. Lower the landing gear by pressing G and lower full flaps as we slow down. Press F7 3 times. In a large aircraft like this, the speed you land at changes depending on how heavy you are. At our current weight, our final approach speed will be 130 knots. Adjust thrust to maintain 130 knots as we descend toward the runway.
Something is beeping. Oh, if I take the flaps up, it doesn't do that. Yeah, I can't have them at 20 yet. So I'll keep it at 8 degrees. I'm not going to put the landing gear down just yet. So at 2,000 feet, doing 160. Yeah. Gonna land this beast. Might actually line it up a bit better. Go a bit off skew and then bring it back round to the left, so we're pretty much in line. Doing this by the light on the runway. There we go.
You're over-controlling.
Shut
Use
up.
less pressure on the stick.
Orbit 526, contact tower on 118.8.
Okay.
Switching to tower now. Orbit 526. Thanks.
Still got
Glasgow
these
Tower,
flaps.
Orbit 526 with you on the visual approach for runway 23.
Orbit 526, Glasgow Tower, you're number 1. Clear to land, runway 23. Wind calm.
Clear to land, Orbit 526.
Calm wind.
We're cleared to land, so let's run through the before landing checklist. It's a short one. Landing gear, down.
Down now.
Sync rate.
Flaps, set to 45 degrees. Lower full flaps. Press F7 3 times. Landing checklist complete. Continue descending. Once we're about 50 feet over the runway, reduce thrust to idle and pull back on the stick slightly to touch down on the main wheels first.
gosh, I'm
Then
already-
slowly lower the nose. Landing checklist complete.
A little bit.
Continue descending. Once we're about 50 feet over the runway, reduce thrust to idle and pull back on the stick slightly to touch down on the main wheels
Alright,
first.
yeah.
Then slowly lower the nose.
I got this. Oh, I have got this. So I like how he takes you through all the different flaps and everything. Definitely makes it a lot easier to get the hang of. Like you saw before, I only just managed to land like within the runway. I missed it the first time, almost missed it the second time, went round and almost missed it the third time, to be honest. But we got a good approach thanks to my right hand man. He's going to tell me that I'm over controlling again. You're over controlling, you're over controlling, over
You're
controlling.
over controlling.
See?
Use less pressure on the stick.
Do you want me to go into this river, or do you want me to not over control?
You're over controlling.
Yeah, I know.
Less
I'm trying to
pressure
keep
on
the nose
stick.
up.
You're
Alright.
over controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Reduce throttle back to idle.
You're over controlling. Use less pressure on the
Do you want me to
stick.
crash in this field, or actually go on the wrong way? Right. Yeah. It's one thing I don't
You're
like.
over controlling. Use less pressure on the
Yeah,
stick.
that's because we're going to miss the runway otherwise. You bloody idiot.
You're over controlling.
Oh, there we go.
Use less pressure on the stick.
That was a alright landing, I suppose. We're just going to
Nice
bring it down.
landing.
Orbit 526.
Yeah, damn
turn
right.
left next taxiway and contact ground on 121.7.
Ground on 121.7, orbit 526. Turn left on the next taxiway. Once you're clear of the runway, stop, retract the flaps, and turn off the landing lights.
Okay, this is where I went wrong before. I stopped on the runway and then turned everything off. You're not meant to do that because obviously it's a bit of a hazard when people are trying to land. So this isn't on the runway here. Got to be careful of that. So we're going to go off to the next taxiway. There's Glasgow Airport. Back in Scottish land again. So how was that? That was good, wasn't it? I am the pro at flying the old CRJ700 or whatever it's called. Here we are, ran into here. Right. So once I'm clear of this yellow line here.
Glasgow ground, orbit 526, clear of 23.
Orbit 526, taxi to the gate.
Right.
Follow the 737
Flaps up.
taxiway all the way to the rock.
We'll follow the
That's what I
37,
need to
orbit
do.
526.
The landing line.
Okay, just follow that 737 on the taxiway.
737.
He's going to the same ramp, just a different gate.
Aha! Now I've turned the scenery up so you can actually see the airport, because last time when I came here, when I was testing it out the this little plane here and doing the tutorial, I had no airport, so it's just a blank runway. This wasn't very good, to be honest. So now I've got, he's going to tell me I'm over controlling. I'm simply going around the corner. So now we've got the airport. It seems to be coping pretty well, so I'll keep these graphic settings, because that gives us some buildings, and also it's it's a better resolution. The resolution actually matches the recording software now, so whereas before I had some cut off on the top and the bottom, I don't now. Right.
Make a right turn into this area. Our gate is the last one on the right side. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Shut up! There's Mr. Boeing. You're over-controlling the last one on the right.
There's our gate at the end. Pull up to the jetway and stop.
Where? Oh, there.
You're over-controlling. Use less
I'm
pressure
not.
on the stick.
I hardly use any pressure on the stick. You bloody idiot.
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the
I'm
stick.
trying to steer into here, actually, so...
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Oh my god.
Stop here. Excellent
here.
job. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Shut up. Alright, there we go. So we do control and the dot key for parking brakes. I'm just gonna do that. And then we're gonna shut this baby down. So what we do, I figured out how to do this last night. We turn this one off and this one off. And that cuts the engines out. Then we go up to this one here. And then we turn the battery switch off. Generators off. Generator 2 off. What else needed to go off? Hydraulics off, I think. Yeah. Don't know what that does. Off. Lights off. Marvellous. So now it's all powered down. Brilliant. So that was a proper go this time at Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Oh, I thought the Boeing had disappeared then. We're parked up here. In our lovely little CRJ700. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Like, comment and subscribe for more great videos. And yes, comment on my flying. Let me know how I did. I thought I did quite well for my third flight in a jet plane. It wasn't bad. Bye guys.